lobbyists. Stop them from lobbying.
Hey guys.
We're back again. It's look at that favorite fly. Getting started.
Sorry.
Flying high and showing some zero knees today. Come talk with us, come sing with us. What are they doing to us?
Right, okay. Sorry for the messing about. I just had to check on some things. Tom Fury Zero News. I'm amazed anyone's here. Um, I thought I was going to be doing a live stream to myself, and I expect that'll probably be how this turns out. But I want to do a live stream simply because it takes up all the video slots. There's videos I'm still trying to make. I don't know if I'm going to get them done today. There's videos I'm still trying to make, and it takes the slots up, and then you don't get no, you can't send out notifications, so it's a pain in the ass. So I thought we'd do this in live format. Hey, Craig, good to see you, buddy. What are you doing up, mate? Um, so yeah, I didn't expect anybody to come on, to be honest. So it's not really the time of night, but I can't sleep, so. I just wanted to briefly address the Paul Thorpe situation in terms of doing an interview with him, having a conversation with him. Um, it started, it started already, and I knew it would. So I made a video yesterday explaining that I will still extend any courtesy that I would normally extend to anybody else. Um, because that's what I do, because it's a certain amount of professionalism. Um, and currently, I'm trying to work out a day and a time with Paul. Probably looking at Sunday, but nothing official yet. So just bear with us while we work that out. What I will say is good morning, everybody. What I will say is that what so I made that video yesterday to explain all this, and a lot of people were like, "Tom, we're with you. It's a conversation. It's good. These things need to happen." A lot of people were very supportive, but the people have also come out and said exactly what I said. Oh, I'm not watching. Uh, um, Lose my support because you're platforming him. Now imagine if I was to listen to that and do the same thing to say Dino Bain. Would everybody be happy with me saying, "Oh, I'm not platforming him. He's got some wild opinions"? Would they? Would they fuck? Um, but most importantly, how can I platform? I hate that use of words anyway. Platform a guy with 300,000 subscribers to my 800. He's got massive uh, presence in the movement. Everybody knows who he is. How the fuck can I platform him? To those absolute tools that said that, how the fuck can I platform a guy with 300,000 subscribers? Think about what you're saying, because the stupidity of the remark needs to be brought up in lights, really, and recognized for the fucking stupidity that it is. An 800 subscriber channel platforming a guy with 300,000 subscribers. Fucking wake up. Wake the fuck up. If that's the biggest argument you can have for it not happening, fuck you. Again, present company excluded. Talking to certain people. Also, when I went on a rant and a rave the other day, I thought I'd made a point, but perhaps I didn't, so I'm going to say this calmly. I will talk to who the fuck I want. That's why I went for my independence. That's why I fought for my independence, and I have my independence now. I'm not going to not platform somebody because then that extends to others. Then what? Should I not speak to Dino Bain? Should I not speak to Dino Bain then? Because there's a lot of people that don't want me to speak to Dino. Well, does that mean that I shouldn't then speak to him? Fuck them. Fuck them. It's more reason to do it. The more you tell me not to do something, the more reason I think there's something behind this. There's a reason to do this. There's a really good reason to do this. Every time, in the old days, I had other people I had to consider. But every time somebody says, you, hi guys, by the way, it's flashing up and then disappearing. So I'm trying to see you. I am up. I couldn't sleep. Hi everybody. Sorry if, it's coming up on my screen, but I have to adjust the YouTube settings. But I can see you over there anyway. So, I did just have my glasses, but I think my cat, I've got them here. So, and the other thing was, this lady come on and said, she just basically shit all over it, and Vindicator sort of put her in the place a little bit, but she just come and shit all over it, and she said, handbags and all the rest of it, between two grown men, blah, 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 blah. Boring. She shit all over it before she's even seen it. And it's like, this is what a lot of the ladies in the movement have been asking for. This is a perfect example of you cannot please all of the people, so therefore I choose to please none, and hope that the people that I've got stick with me out of what I hope is the sense that I try and make. What I hope is the honesty that I definitely give. But I don't go out to please anybody, because you become a beggar, and you also will not achieve the goal. So I talk to who I want. That's been taken from me for a long time. That's something I will fight for. But the idea that I'm platforming Paul is fucking insane. And again, to a few of the women that have got a problem with this, and it is just a few. I've seen you organise groups where you hate take down channels that go against Thorpe. I've seen you do some awful things in his name. And yet when someone actually just says, I'll sit down and talk to him, you've all got a fucking problem with it. I wonder why that would be. Well, you're scared we're going to get on, or you're scared that you might be found out. Why the long face? Right? So, but at the end of the day, I've got my opinions, and they don't change because someone's nice to me. Yeah? Yeah, I would never try and say my IQ is the highest in the movement, not even close. And that's not saying much, is it? But, joking, but at the same time, you don't need a high IQ if you know truth. Simple. So, to the people saying on platform, then grow up, because the same rules apply to Dino. The same rules would then apply to a lot of people who in the past people would. I know, like I said, there are people ganging up on me trying to not let me have Dino on the channel. And that's exactly more reason to have him. I like him anyway, but that's more reason to have him on the channel. The more people fight against it, the more I know I'm over the target. And also, I've just found out some information tonight from a good friend from days past, that the enigma, and I can't tell you who, but the enigma that I thought was behind certain mechanisms at the moment in terms of potential private investigators in terms of the harassment of people like myself and Vin. I think I do actually know who's coordinating some of it, and it's no surprise. It comes within a certain team that we all know about. So, to that person, now I found out who you are, found out we're old friends. So, we're old friends. So, yeah, be careful. That's not a threat. That's just you're poking around in things that even I don't understand. So, it's above your level. Way above your level. Oh, sorry, see the chat over here. I'll come back to chat in just a sec. So, my intention with Paul Thorpe is to, and I don't want to say too much now, right? But it's to have a conversation, and just ask some questions that other people don't seem to have asked, especially without the lapdog there barking and screaming at everybody and spitting on his camera. You know who I'm talking about. So we might actually get somewhere without that presence there, because at the moment he's like a rabid dog that you can't talk to. You know who I'm talking about, right? Richard. And I'll tell you what, in the past, Richard would have been the guy I would have gone to for the conversation. That's how much he's changed. He would have been the guy to go to, because whatever you think about his politics, he was the easiest person to sit around the table with. Now he's a lunatic. And I don't know what's happened to him. I really don't. I was worried about him at one point, but now I don't know. I just think, fuck, you know. Yeah, I shit the bed, Jay. I shit the bed. And Jay, are we okay? I saw on the comment section when I was on Prism and on the studios we use. Today I'm on proper YouTube. I only get a third of the comments come through, and I saw some not very nice comments. I don't think they were aimed towards me, but on my stream the other day, and I just want to make sure we're okay. I know there's a couple of people who I'm getting on with at the moment who you might be surprised at, but I haven't spoken to them in years, and I've come back. They've treated me all right. They've treated me good. Not in massive conversation. They've just treated me all right. Well, those who treat me all right get treated all right. The other people who you know have already been banned from the channel. They've already managed to get themselves banned because they tried to dox people on my channel. But anybody who treats me with respect gets it back. And so far, so good. So I'm not going to condemn a guy for arguments we had in the past. So, I know from the looks of what I could see, it seems like you two don't still get on. But just trust me, bud. Don't do guilt by association. Yeah. Just because I'm speaking to someone doesn't mean I can't speak to someone else, and vice versa. I've been friends with you for years. You know I trust you. You know I like you. You know I think you're the man. So that's not going to change just because I'm friendly to people. I come back. People think I like think I like the conflict. I've come back not looking for conflict. Conflict came looking for me, and I've just accepted that I'm in a war zone now. And I'm like, okay, well then that's how we fight. I'm not going to stand here taking bullets forever. I'm going to start firing back. So, that's what the position I'm in. But I didn't come back looking for all of this. I came back looking for a smooth podcast that we can grow and do the politics. And this is why it annoys me about these women shitting all over. I say these women, just a few, shitting all over the idea of me and Paul speaking. It's all they went on that we're all too scared to do. And again, these particular group, it's a very small group, don't know who they are exactly. I don't know who they are, but they they don't seem to realize that there's a massive political aspect to all of this. This conversation isn't about oh, you said something bad about me. Yeah, you said something bad about me. I can't imagine that's going to happen. It might, but I can't imagine it. What would be the point? Everybody says bad things about each other. But the point should be the politics, shouldn't it? The point should be the belief system, shouldn't it? So what about that conversation then is so handbags at dawn if it's about politics and if it's about ideology and things like that? How is that handbags? It's not, is it? You've prejudged something based on videos you've seen and you've jumped to conclusions and you're going to make cunts of yourselves. So my advice would be stop saying stupid shit before it's happened because you're making yourself look stupid. My intention isn't to cozy up, but my intention is also not to be fucking rude. It's just to be me, as I said. What more can I say? So if you don't want to watch it, I understand, don't watch it. But I'm not there to promote Paul Thorpe. He's got a 300,000 channel. I can't platform him. And again, when you use those rules about platforming, remember they apply to everybody then. Do you want that? No Dino, no, yeah, it changes then, doesn't it? So think about what you're asking for, what you're asking me to do by not having someone on. And also as well, you're asking me to turn tail and run. You're asking me to turn tail and run from another man. Not happening. I issued a challenge. He's accepted. I'm not turning tail and run because you don't like it. Tough shit. I offered a challenge. Someone has taken it. I now have the obligation to see it through. I'm no coward. Much as a lot of people would like to portray me as that, I'm just not. When's the interview, Tom? Okay, so I'm working on it now with Paul. I'm looking at Sunday, but it depends whether because Paul's got a couple of things on Sunday to do. None of my business. But so looking at Sunday, but if not, it may be another day. So I don't want to say that's definite yet. Still trying to work out in the background with Paul. I've had a sleep this afternoon, so I probably missed a couple of opportunities to email him back, but I'll be emailing him back tonight. So I imagine we'll have something concrete by sometime this afternoon. I imagine we'll have something concrete fixed. So I'll announce it when we've got when we've got it fixed in. I'll give him his credit as well. All right. He said I'm an open book. So he's not asked me not to talk about anything. So fair play. So, but it's not going to be a debate format, and here is why. Debates are good, but debates are a particular format, and they're just contentious all the way through. And you get a certain something out of them, you get a winner or a loser, all that, but you don't necessarily get as much context on certain things, and they take longer. So a conversation can lead to debates, can lead to all kinds of things, but it's natural, it's organic, it's real, it's not forced. That's why I like having conversations. Doesn't mean you're not going to disagree. It means that you disagree naturally rather than being forced in a box of doing it. And, I'm sure we're going to both bring things up that we're not going to agree on. But I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it. But yeah, the handbag stuff, rubbish. Because at times like this, when you disagree with someone and they're sat right in front of you, losing your shit is not the way to handle it. Being calm, being gracious is the way to handle it. And pointing out things if you think they're wrong, pointing out things if you think they're being avoided, things like that. Very simple, very simple. You just keep yourself calm, and don't let anybody steal your show. All right, it's my show. if somebody wants to steal the show, well, they can invite me onto their channel, can't they? It's my show. I'll have control of the show, I mean. So there'll be none of the worries that people have got. It will be a fair conversation where nobody gets to take over anything. Yeah? So I'm not explaining this to get people to watch. I'm telling you this because I'm trying to break some common sense over their damn heads. And if they still choose to pout, then fucking pout. But understand that when I speak to Dino, you won't be invited to that one. Right? I don't give a shit whether you turn up to that one or not. You don't get to pick and choose who I speak to. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. That's more than fair. I'm here for a reason as well. I'm here for a reason as well. And it's not just to make videos. It is to try and move forwards, try and advance this where we're trying to get with this country. And if we can get this shit behind us, all the better. Let me catch up with you guys. So good morning, everyone. I'm surprised anybody's on here. And look at all you guys. Good morning. You're all saying, oh, I'm up early, but I'm amazed you guys are on here. That's crazy. That's crazy. Rustic, hey, Rustic. I think you need to go on asking the questions to ensure balance is right. No chance didn't really challenge, in my opinion. I haven't seen that no challenge. That I haven't seen the no chance one. But yes, I agree. I don't think Paul will be rude enough to try and take over, but should. And I don't think he will. So I'm going to, as I said, this is a good faith conversation. So I'm not going to accuse him of doing things he hasn't done. But, and I will never mute someone during a point or anything like that. But if someone takes over my show, they will find the mute button used very quickly. So there's no worries about that. I will have a lot of questions. I do have a lot of questions. And Paul has said he's an open book, so he's obviously prepared for questions. So this will be questions, definitely. I agree with you. But it will be questions. Again, held with good faith. But yeah, I will be asking questions. Nobody will be taking over my show. I know this is only an 800 channel now, but I fought for years to get my last channel and to start growing this one. No, I don't just hand it away. I've had people try and steal my channels from me and all kinds of things. So, I mean, properly steal it. So nobody takes this from me, even for a short amount of time. So yeah, I'm very protective over that. But I do appreciate your point. Very well said, in fact. So, Tom, the more someone tells you not to do something, the more chance you're going to do it anyway. It's right, exactly. That's me. That's me, even to my own detriment at times. But I found out a long time ago, I remember a load of people that claimed to speak for Tommy when I was working with those people, wouldn't let me speak to someone. And then when the man was asked himself, he was like, why would I give a shit? Like, let him talk to who he wants. Why are you trying to stop him? So there's a lot of people that talk shit. Of course, we're okay. Good. I'm glad. Wake up. I'm glad, Jay. I don't know. I saw some comments. Shit. When was it? I was in a garden. You could have been joking. It looked like you were saying. I don't want to say it in case. I don't want to say it in public because I've just realised it will cause trouble. No matter. I've just realised it will cause trouble. Maybe for you. Maybe yeah. No, I don't want to say it in public, but it might have been that you were joking about something and I read it wrong. That's what I mean. That's why I don't want to say it, because if you were joking and I read it wrong, then it might cause trouble I didn't mean to cause. So I'll tell you offline, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I just looked and I thought, oh, is that getting serious? And then it didn't go anywhere, which is what makes me think maybe it was a joke. But no, as long as we're cool, that's fine. Yeah, I'm hoping there's not an imposter as well, because there's been a lot of them around recently. There's been a lot of them around, too many. I didn't even think about that, Jay, and I should have done. I should have checked to see if it was you. Good point. I will do next time. So just going down. Appreciate it, Craig. Looking forward to it. I don't personally dislike Paul Thorpe, but I do feel his comments and views over the past 6 weeks have been negative and non-productive towards this side of the movement. I agree. I agree with you. And, you know, why shouldn't someone ask him about that? You know, I haven't seen. Have you seen anybody ask him about any of that? Just and again, not fix him in the corner, not try and bully him. Just ask. Have you seen anybody in a position of being able to, well, other than the people who are in a position and don't, have you seen anybody ask him about any of that? I'm not going to try and shape his answers. He can come out with whatever answers he wants. It's up to you as an audience to decide whether you believe him in the conversation. It's not up to me to say you're lying, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. It's up to you to say this is what I think. It's up to you to interpret it as you see fit. But my obligation is at least to ask the question, surely. So, because nobody else is bothering. And yeah, I do think that it's been very unproductive, the stuff that's happened. And I haven't forgotten where it started, more importantly. I haven't forgotten where it started either. So, you know, that needs to be addressed. But what I also say is there's a couple of good things I also do know about Paul Thorpe, and I will say them as well, because I'm not just going to do, you know, you've got to be balanced. You've got to be balanced. And there's a couple of things I know that are good. So I'll probably say them off the bat, you know. But yeah, and there'll be also other things. So I'm just going to make it clear with you guys now. Things like watches, stuff like that. I'm not going to be asking about any of that. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. I know bits and pieces that people have told me, but I have no evidence, no facts, no nothing. So it's going to be nothing to do with that. It's going to be much more to do with, like you said, the last few weeks, political climate, ideology, stuff like that. I would assume. I mean, you never know where a conversation is going to go, but I would assume that's where we're going to go with it. I'm not going to be trying to dig up a past that I don't understand or don't know about. What would be the point? I'll make myself look a fool, not knowing what I'm talking about. So you have to only stick to the things that you're aware of. So I'm not going to go on things that I don't know about. That's other people's jobs if they want to do that, because they seem to know everything about it, and go and talk to them then. But for me, it's about recent events more than anything else, much more than anything else. Richard Inman was the main cause of this shit show. I agree. But Paul was I'll be honest with you, I don't want to say too much on it now. I'm sure you can understand why. Because everything gets watched, right? So I'm not gonna preload it. Otherwise, what's the point of having a conversation with him if I say too much now? You know. So, but I will say, you know, obviously, I can't expect him to shit on somebody he really, really likes, but I can ask these things in another way. Yeah. So there are ways you can ask things that are okay. So I will. May have been a banter comment. It could have been a banter comment, Jace. It could have been a banter comment. It very easily could have been. In fact, to be honest with you, when I first saw it, I was like, that looks more like banter than, you know? So yeah, it could well have been oh, hang on a second. I agree with you. So my mods know the only reason you ban people is for spamming. So, and I'll make this clear on the day as well. If Full Fork followers are welcome in, but if one Full Fork follower feels the need to have more free speech than everybody else and fills up the screen, they'll be gone. But no problem with people coming on. They can slag me off. I don't care. They can say what they want within reason. We just don't allow bullying, racial slurs, harassment, and bear with me, harassment and spamming. That's it. But in terms of what you say to me, in terms of supporting Paul, fine. That's absolutely fine. My mods, especially now, will not come down on you for that. They want to keep the conversation going. So it's not in their best interest to keep banning people. They're going to want a good, healthy conversation. But again, if anybody spams or breaks, and these are old school internet rules, by the way, spamming, harassment, bullying, these have since before social media. These were the basic rules we had on the internet from day one. And they work pretty well. So that's what I'm going to go with. So no, nobody's going to get handy with a spanner. Like I say, the one that did do that is gone. So no, they're pretty passive mods. They're pretty cool. Haven't seen anyone really put any questions towards Paul. Exactly. Not even in a friendly way, have they? Not even in a friendly way. And that's what I mean about all of this. Even if I'm friendly to Paul, nobody's asked these questions in any way, have they? Except maybe a few that he chooses to answer on the screen, which is not the same thing, not even close to the same thing. So you're absolutely right. So I just read that comment again. Haven't seen anyone actually put any questions towards Paul. Usually deepen lives with his followers. I think you will do a great job from what I've learned from you so far. Well, I hope so. I hope so. You know, I'm not going to big myself up because I'm just little old me. But just to have the conversation, I think would demonstrate stuff to some people, and to show that we can do it without throwing eggs and screaming will be a good lesson for people. But also, yeah, to talk the truth at the same time and not be intimidated would be a good lesson for people too. And most importantly, I think in some ways, apart from the politics, is a lesson out there for some of you creators. Okay, I have a bit more of a reputation because I've worked and had a bigger channel. Nevertheless, there's a lot of people that undersell me. Hey, morning, Den. There's a couple of people that undersell me. There's a couple of, well, not, there's a lot of people and think I'm a nobody. I am a nobody, in fact. I've always said that. But what they mean it in a disparaging way. And so I want to just let you guys know, people that don't get to over 1,000 subscribers, because I probably will, hopefully. It's happened before. It doesn't feel that hard now. But if you do struggle to get to that, don't think that you can't have influence. Don't think that you can't have input, because I'm proving now that you can. I'm proving now that a 300,000 subscriber channel will speak to an 800 subscriber channel. You just need to know what buttons to push, and a few other things. My channel is punching so far above its weight, it's unreal. That's just belief. That's just belief in yourself. That's all that is. It's not skill, it's not intelligence, it's just belief. And so I just wanted to shout out to those smaller creators out there that think that you can't do it. That's because that's what they want you to think. This is my 7th invitation to Paul. This is what certain people out there want you to think, that you can't make a difference, you can't have an influence. Yes, you fucking can. And you do. So, and like I say, my channel is proof of it. It's punching well above its weight. So don't think, if you don't get to 1,000 subscribers, don't think you can't make a difference. Yes, you can. Your channels are still worth something. And like I said, if I do get bigger again, I will do my best to promote the smaller channels like I used to. And I think there's a more than 50-50 chance that I'm going to get bigger again over the course of maybe a year or two. But dependent, but I think so. And as soon as I do, I'm going to do what I did before, promote smaller channels that deserve more time. Yeah, so that's instantly what I'm going to go to. So what I did last time, I'm going to do it even harder this time, because I've seen good channels out there that don't get the time of day they deserve. So, especially when you consider some of the idiots that do get the time of day. Just have a look. I'm not. Sorry, just trying to catch up. Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, if you go to Full Force chat, his mods are overzealous as well. So no, I know what you're talking about. I'm not a Full Force fan, by the way. Just don't want his followers having ammo. Yep, no, you're absolutely right. Ammo to claim your mod spot spec. Absolutely, absolutely agree. No, you're right. I'm not going to give anybody an excuse. The people can say what they want. I may even say, mod, you got a day off. Do you know what I mean? Because no, maybe not that because of the other things, but you know what I'm saying. Stand if it becomes a fanboy fest, let it. You know, kind of just let it roll. Because like you said, nobody can say anything then, can they? Like I say, it's a good faith conversation. So I'm not looking to silence people, shut them up. It's not how I do things. And even though, like I say, I'm a small channel, you can still lead by example. And I am a leader in my own way. Maybe not a strategic leader, maybe not the leader. I'll never be that caliber of person, I'm afraid. But in my own little way, my own little corner of the universe, I am. But only in my own little way. Like I say, I'll never be a tactical general. I'll never be, I'm just, there's certain skills I just don't have. But yeah, leading by example is something that anybody can do. That's why I say it. Seems like an open stand-up to be counting type of guy. Thank you. And from what I've saw a no chance interview with Paul seemed very approachable. I'm no Paul Thorpe fan by the way. Well, this is the thing, and I've got again in his emails, he has told me he's an open book. I've also heard from people who work directly with him that he's actually quite easy to get on with. So I am bearing all of this stuff in mind, and that's why I'm not going in like a bulldozer. You don't need to if someone is willing to talk. All I've got to make sure is that the talk stays on track, and we don't go down fantasy land. That's all. That's all. Catching up. Hey, Babs. Good morning. We all shit the bed this morning. Then working class patriot. It's all about access, and you don't have access to Rupert Lowe. Yeah. Oh shit! That just jumped. Hang on a second. Trying to find it again now. I've never done a stream this time. I don't think. Up late or up early? I'm up early. Den. I fell asleep at 7 p.m. and woke up at about 2. So I used to be I was a late bird my entire life, and in the last 3 years, something has changed, and now it's all my entire body clock is reversed. Now I'm up early in the mornings and can't stay awake late at night. Getting old. But yeah, as I said at the beginning, because I see there's new people on. There's a lot of people trying to shit on me doing this. Oh, you're platforming Paul Thorpe. Just to say this one more time, you can't platform someone who's inside of a movement who has got 300,000 subscribers when you've got 800. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. The second thing is when you start using dangerous terms like platforming, that applies to every other creator that you might want me to have on here, that other people don't want me to. So do I listen to them? Because if I do, I've got to listen to everybody. So no, I have on here who I want. Hang on a second, just reading. Very tense Ireland. We hear you, Ireland. We're supporting you all the way. Suggest a question for Paul. What do you think are the top 3 challenging questions that you might imagine people might want to ask you? Interesting. That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. I'll bear that in mind. It's a good question. You've always made me feel welcome, and I always interact. Keep it going. It's a very noble trait. Thank you. Well, listen, there's a lot of creators that come on here and no, I just say it. They think you're cunts. They go in these WhatsApp groups and they laugh about things that I'm not going to go into now. Others don't, by the way, but there are some that do, and they forget that without you, we wouldn't be here. I mean, that's not arsecking. That's a pure, simple, fucking fact. So you ignore your comments at your peril. You treat people who are kind to you like shit at your peril. I've got no time for people like that. So I'm glad you feel welcome because you are welcomed. Everybody's welcomed. Yeah. So Tom, I think you get a lot of subs over the next few weeks. Maybe Babs, or maybe people turn them in or lose them all. It's 50-50. But truthfully, I don't care. I don't care because I'll tell you why, because I've got the freedom of doing what I want and it feels great. You can't beat that, can you? I'm free. I'm not doing it for anybody. I'm just doing it for me. So, do you know what I mean? I just it'll probably be the break of me more than the make of me. But I don't know. You think about it. Most people who come over are going to be Paul Thorpe supporters. They're not going to like me straight from the get go. So there's going to be no subscribers except those that wish to subscribe to Hate Watch. So I don't really think it's going to do much for my channel. I know what you're saying, Babs, but I think there's a lot of people out there that think, yeah, there's a lot for Tom to gain. There's a lot for him to lose too. So I don't think it's going to really change my numbers that much. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I don't understand YouTube like I used to. It's changed a lot, but I can't see it because those people are already chosen a side. So I don't really see it. But the most important thing is that I've punched well above my weight and that I've got exactly that which I said that I would get. So up again in a few hours. Fair enough. You take it easy. I hope you have a good night. I've been following the situation a little. Massive respect to you guys. Sign off things to come over here if we find the balls. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it, my friend, my dear. You're welcome. I really are supporting you on Ireland. You have no. I mean, I know some people over there, and they told me this has been coming for a while, and I know that you guys have known this has been coming for a while. People over here kept saying, "No, we're in the same position." It's like, no, we're not. These people are ready to go. So, yeah, some of us knew you were right there. So we really do wish you all the best, and wish all the citizens all the safety in the world. Just catching up. For Tom, did you see the discussion with Paul Thorpe and Danny Roscoe a while back? Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. As people know, Danny's a friend, so I think Danny, when I talked to Danny had a specific thing that he wanted to do, and he wanted to let Paul talk. But what I didn't like about it was Paul said some things near the end that I felt should have come in the middle and should have been talked about, and I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it at all. I told Danny that, by the way, as well. I said afterwards, I said I didn't like what happened, especially near the end. So for me, yeah, it won't be, if there's going to be any of that, it comes in the middle so that it can be properly hashed out. So I don't see the point in getting him on my channel and then being a mute and listen to him talk for an hour or two. What's the point in me being there? What's the point in setting up the interview? So no, it's gonna, and that's not no attack on Danny. Danny had his own way, and he told me that. But my point being is, for me personally, after all the noise we've all made, to sit there like a mute now would be really, well, what would be the point? All mouth, no trousers. What's the point? So no, you've got to get involved in conversation. It's got to be a two-way conversation. Are we going to see Thorpe shorts after your chat? You're doing well with shorts lately. I don't really like shorts. Maybe if there's any moments in there that are good, but I don't like shorts if I'm honest. But yeah, if there's anything that's good, I might. I know I need to do more shorts. I'm just not a fan of them. I can do really good shorts if I choose to. I used to do them forever and Scoot, but you know, they made me hate them. So I don't know if I would want to do them again. But yeah, maybe. I think you people that are heading in that direction. You have traitors in your midst, yes. And for want of a better word, infiltrators, yes. Anyone who first priority isn't your own people is bad. Correct. I agree with you. Well, you knew that Liverpool or Ireland would be the first ones to really kick back. Looks like it's Ireland. Hope you stay safe. Apparently, something happened in London at the MOD yesterday. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Wasn't there something else that happened last night? I'll check in a second. But yeah, there may be some shorts in that. I just don't. I also don't want to seem like a subscriber grab. You know, I believe that things have got way too serious for this just to be me trying to grab some subscribers. You know, I'm hoping to achieve a few things, none of them bad, but I'm going to keep them in for now. But I'm hoping to achieve a few things, but none of them bad. Things I hope will just maybe calm things down a bit. Who knows? Who knows? Hope for the best. You know, prepare for the worst. But I've done, the thing that people forget is I did this when I first joined the movement. I'd heard of Base Damien, I'd heard of James Guard. I didn't know who they were, knew they didn't get on, so I went and spoke to both of them. Yeah, and it's things I've always done stuff like that. That's me. I'm the Louis thrower in that way. In that I'll throw myself in with anybody. Yeah, and that's more what it's about, really. That sort of style. If you get what I'm saying. So I had a nightmare. I had to deliver my auntie from the devil. I'm never awake this time normally. See, it was me secretly going, come on my stream, come on my stream. Tom have got a great saying on a t-shirt: when things go wrong, it is Fishmo. It stands for fuck it and shit happens, move on. Absolutely. One thing they say is fear is one thing that they fear the most is you, the people. We can see the fear in their eyes here, that loss of control, loss of the sick globalist narrative, hence the violence. She's talking about Ireland. Take that let me read that out again. The thing is that they fear the most, the thing that they fear the most is you, the people. We can see the fear in their eyes here in Ireland. The loss of control, the loss of the sick globalist narrative, hence the violence. Just bear that in mind, people, because that may become very important here soon. Yeah, and also as well, I think it's important that we realize that how close things like that could be, and that's why also some of these discussions are necessary. So I reject the idea that it's handbags from these people that want to say that. You haven't seen the conversation yet. Shut your fucking holes to those people. They know who they are. Shut your fucking holes. I love playing the heel. I love playing the heel. I love being the bad guy. Shut your fucking holes and give it a fucking chance first, you decrepit old bastards. Just watch the fucking thing before you decide that it's two guys throwing handbags around and we're just making fools of yourselves, which I imagine you do on a daily basis anyway, but you're doing it online as well, so stop it. And for the people that are going to boycott, fucking boycott it then. You'll be there. Something I understand. See, Jason here on Wake Up UK can back me up, right? I don't suffer fools and I don't suffer curiosity. What do I mean by that? You can leave me a message. You can leave me an email. You can do what you want. If I don't want to read it, if I'm not interested, I don't suffer the normal curiosity that other people do. And I'll just leave it. And Wake Up UK will tell you that. If someone's trolling and they're getting up everybody else's nose, I'll forget they exist. They just don't exist to me anymore. It's not a big problem for me. So when it comes to, let me just have a look on there, where was it? When it comes to situations like this, I know that most of the people say, oh, I'll be boycotting it, will be there. They'll be making up the numbers. They'll be trying to make it a drama stream. They will be there. So they can protest, they can talk all the shit they want. But the very fact that they are the animated, the 10% that talk, the ones that, and then out of that, the 10% that are animated, they'll be there. They won't miss it for the fucking world. So don't kid a kidder. I see the numbers. I see the analytics. I see traffic. Don't bullshit me. You bullshit yourself all you like, but don't bullshit me. You'll be there. You'll fucking be there. And I'm talking about those particular people with the big gobs, not everybody else. So I love being the bad guy. So what else we got? That's what all this is about, trying to awaken the people to stand up and be counted. Trouble is many are scared, afraid of the repercussions, etc. Right. The Irish have always been fighters, in my opinion. They're called the Fighting Irish. The Fighting, that's where the name comes from, Fighting Irish. They've had some of the greatest fighters. They've had, yeah. Always knew it'd be the Irish that would get organised first. Don't forget, they've had a lot of reason to over the last 100 years. So, yeah, never underestimate the Irish, ever. But yeah, you know, so we'll have I imagine that, you know, like I say, without somebody there spitting all over his webcam and losing his head, we might be able to get somewhere with the politics with Paul. Not definitely, depends if he really is true to his word and is prepared to have an honest conversation. If he is, then we may be able to get somewhere with his politics, which we can at least then clarify. Because I would like some clarification. I think a lot of other people would as well, about where he stands on his politics. So, as he's asked it of Rupert Lowe, I think it's only fair for that same clarification, because I truly don't know where he stands, not in terms of his official position. So I'd like to know that, just that simple little thing that other people say isn't important, but they know perfectly well it is. That sorry, just have a look. So when you do lives explaining or justifying yourself, I see your followers telling you that you don't need to explain yourself. But do you think they have a point? As the Queen said, never complain, never explain. Yeah, no, absolutely. Going back, especially a few months ago, my confidence was shot. I was a different person than you remember. And I would over explain and I apologize 900 times a stream. I'm trying to knock that apology thing on the head. It's just a habit. And yeah, definitely. That's why I've stopped explaining things about money. It's why I've stopped explaining a lot of things, because people have said, yeah, we know you, Tom, we trust you, we don't need all that bollocks. And also it puts people off. It puts people off of the content they come here for. In this particular occasion, though, tonight, this is more about saying fuck you to the people that want to try and bully me into not doing it. The same people that try and bully me into not going on with Dino Bain. Yeah, I say the same people, there'd be different people, but the same mentality is what I mean. And a fuck you to the people that shout on it before you even know what it is. So no, this is more of a fuck you stream, honestly. Like I said, I love playing the bad guy. I love being the bad. I don't say playing the bad guy, being the bad guy. There's a difference. You're right there. There are a few trailblazers, the ones not afraid to be the ones saying no, we will not comply. Yeah, exactly. Is it because you are conscious of being misunderstood? No, it's a confidence thing. You'll find me. Okay, so when it comes to money, for instance, I can over talk about that because I get paranoid. People think I'm making loads of money. I do. Sometimes I over explain things because I worry that because I suffer with anxiety. When you suffer with anxiety, you start to feel like you're transparent. You start to feel like people can see how you're feeling inside. And because of that, you start to over explain things. It's like a nervous energy. And so you tend to you overshare because you're worried that people can see straight through you and they can see that what they might perceive as weakness in you or whatever you might want to call it. And you're scared that it's almost like having your skin stripped off and being bare to the world. So that can cause me to over explain. So that's often when my confidence is low. So as my confidence is going up and up again recently, now that I've stolen it back from the people that stole it from me, you find that I'm doing that less and less and less as I start to realize, hey, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm all right. I'm not a bad person. I don't go out to hurt anybody. I'm not here to fuck anybody up. And I start to become comfortable in my own skin again. And lo and behold, people start coming to the channel and enjoying it more because they're not hearing some neurotic guy on there pointing out all his problems for the world to see when they don't need to see them. So when you lack the confidence, you push people away when you don't even realize it. When you gain the confidence back, as long as you're not a cocky prick, and even if you are sometimes, you'll pull people in more because it's a positive gravitational field people want to be a part of. They want to be a part of the positivity. They don't want to be a part of someone who's neurotic going on about don't think this, don't think that, don't think this. For fuck's sake. Disclaimer, 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 disclaimer. So no, people definitely had a point, and I was doing people's heads in with it, you know. Richard Inman said in his live that after he was demonetized, he was 600 a month down. Strange that, because he was on there with Paul on another stream saying, probably make about 50 quid in a month. Yeah, we're the worst grifters in the world. Well, you've lost £600 a month. Thought you weren't making that type of money. That's on top of all the other money that he makes. He's into other things. Yeah, so it's not the only money he makes. It's none of my business. I'm just saying. But you know, his monetization has been reinstated, so he's going to get £600 a month again. But the problem is that £600 a month is probably a bit of an exaggeration. The reason I say that is because his views now have dropped to about the same as mine on a 48,000 channel. You're not making that much money. Sorry, but you're not. Not unless they're through super chats. Maybe through super chats, but you're not making that much money from anything else. Like I've seen plenty of streams who've had 42 people on there, and that doesn't make you that kind of money. So maybe super chats, I could say, but yeah, it doesn't make that kind of money. But no, he's reinstated now. He's got his monetization back, and I'm happy for him. You know, I've got no problem with people getting monetization. As I said, I'm a capitalist. Why would I want someone not to be allowed to do that? They're given their time. Trouble with the trouble with the Civil War thing is that there will be pockets of different factions, and I think people I mentioned in the last message will be the ones to take the brunt of it. Yeah, and that's why people like me and Vin don't want a civil war in this country, because it won't be one side versus the other. It will be factions. It can even turn into fucking warlord-like kingdoms in this country. It won't be good versus evil or riding on a night. It would be a fucking mess that could be dragged out for decades. So it wouldn't be what a lot of people dream it to be. One big battle where everybody uses knives and forks and by the time it gets to 4 o'clock, the battle's won. We can all have a cup of tea. It's just fantasy. Oh, someone's quoting Dostoevsky. Lying to oneself destroys the ability to distinguish truth, leading to a loss of self-respect and love. Absolutely. Lies can be hard to keep track of, unlike the truth. That's very true. So, Tom, I come here to hear what you say because you are normal. No one's ever accused me of being normal before. A human being can imagine sitting in a pub just talking about life, the universe, and the cost of losing your country. Yeah, that's always been the idea, though, is that yeah, I am not quite normal because normal people don't put themselves on camera every day. So I have to accept that part of myself and not try and make out myself to be too normal because it's an abnormal thing to do. But with that said, yeah, the idea is not to lord it up over people, not to think that I'm better than anybody because I'm not. It's to, yeah, that's great. If you feel like that pub situation, that's exactly what I wanted when I went to demos and I filmed demos. I didn't want to film, hey, Tom Fury's doing a demo because he's cool. It was always trying to make you feel like you were there. And if it worked, which it did on quite a few occasions, I was well chuffed. That was the goal. So if we can get that, that's always the goal with certain filming that I do, is to do that. It's normal. Screenshot that, Tom. Yeah, I know. I am. I was thinking that myself. Should I screenshot this and put it on my community post and say, see, one person in the world thinks I'm normal. So there may be another. There may be another who thinks I'm normal. You realize this doesn't say good things about you, right? But no, I love it. I love it. It's great. Right. So I feel the same way to Tom feels like stand up and be counted type. Trouble in many can't count these days. Yeah, true. And you know, there's other things to it as well. And again, the thing is that I understand that I'm no hero and never will be, and that's important to understand because it keeps you grounded. A lot of people take these comments to heart and go and think themselves, honestly, I've seen it in real time. It's like, oh yeah, I'm the shit, you know, and it's like, no, no, no. They were just offering you a compliment. They weren't telling you you're a god. But people take it that way. People take it that way. Seriously. I've seen them lose their fucking minds over a few compliments, some email compliment. And the more they get, you imagine, so imagine when you get, say, 100,000 subscribers and you've got a core base of 1,000 people telling you every day how great you are. People start to think they get away with anything. Fucking crazy. I've got people in my life now, people I wouldn't tell you about, but people in my life now that watch these every now and again, that are around me every now and again, people I've known for years, just to give me a baseline and say, Tom, you're not yourself. Tom, and I may or may not listen, but people who've known me for years, and those people are there because if I do blow up, which I sort of did last time, and it could happen again, I want those people to be there to make sure that I never forget who I am. Because it can happen so easy. I've seen it happen to nearly everybody who's made it up there, and I would rather never ever get up there. I'd rather never get up there than become like that. And that's honestly, I said to you the other day, that's why I have a really genuine fear of success. Everybody has a fear of failure, that's common, but I have a terrified fear of success. And I think there's only so far up that ladder I want to go because of that fear of success. I know what other people think they're chasing. They're wrong. There is no fame. There is only overexposure. There is no cool. There is only the time that people think you're cool before you go down the drain. There is no legacy. There's nothing. All these things they're chasing don't exist. So I fear it because I know the truth of what is waiting at the end of it, and it's usually the ruin of many a man. So mid-tier for me would be about right, but big enough to be out of the danger zone that we're in now, and to be able to knock on people's doors without the effort it's taken with Paul Thorpe, and get them to do the interviews a lot more easily than I do now. A bigger channel. When I had 20,000 channel, it was easy to get interviews. Mate, we all have our flaws. You acknowledge this fact. Yeah, I try to. But do you notice some people, though, selectively acknowledge their flaws? They acknowledge the ones they want to acknowledge. But no, you're right. You're right. I appreciate that. Some of your more normal idiots we got in power. That's not much of a benchmark, though, is it? What questions do you think Paul Thorpe might have for you? I doubt many, because from the way he's worded things, it sounds like he expects questions from me. But again, I don't want to say too much on here, but I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. Let's put it this way. The only questions that would come my way, I would already know what they would be about. So yeah, ready for them. See, the thing is, what I do, I'm not knowledgeable about everything, so I won't talk about things I don't know about anyway. But what I do is this is stacked up with knowledge before I come on a live stream. Now, my memory is terrible, as you know, but it all and this is constantly loading, which is why I don't, like tonight, you don't see me stopping, do you? Pausing, going, what should I talk about next? It just keeps loading stuff up. That's because it's current and present in my mind. And what I see a lot of people do is trying to force out information. They're trying to pull out of their mind because they've been thinking about it. Well, for me, I work from passion as well as anything else. And when I talk, it's what's on my mind. And my mind's flowing with all this stuff at the moment. So I don't think it's going to be that easy to do a gotcha when my mind's fluid around all of these subjects at the moment. Maybe in 6 months' time when it gets a bit old and I'm not thinking about it properly. But at the moment, like, I can talk about things for hours on here on a live stream because they're already in there. No effort required except to pull them out, but they're already there floating on the surface. Right from my very first live streams, always went out the door and talked about what was on my mind, because then you're not pulling for things you don't know about. You're talking about things that are existing there in that moment. And for me, at the moment, there's a lot of stuff with Paul and everything else that are going around. So I haven't forgotten many of those arguments and what they're about or anything else. They're all still in there. So yeah, so I should be okay with all that. Fear of success is the biggest cause of failure. Is that true? Fear of success is the biggest cause of failure. Really? That's interesting. At some point, I'd like you to explain that to me, not on here. But I've sabotaged my own work, Jason, multiple times. I walked away from 3 offers now that would have led me to the big time. And I've sabotaged them too. I had a chance to go out to 100,000 people every week. I walked away. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's rare for people to speak honestly. So many burnt experiences. I now need to push back and speak my mind. Absolutely. And this is what I try and offer on my channel. Is not me being the arbiter of truth, but me being honest with what I believe that I know, being honest about who I am, being honest with you about my feelings about things. We offer what we can. Instead of me trying to be an intellectual, which I'm not, instead of me trying to be the things that I'm not, instead you sell yourself, because it is selling in a way, but you sell yourself as you are. You sell what your strengths are. My strengths are just saying it as it is, saying how I feel, saying what I believe to be true. And what I didn't realize is that's actually a reasonable talent, because a lot of people can't fucking speak the truth to save their lives. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that people would give a fuck about me coming on here and speaking the truth, until I came on here and spoke the truth, and so many people said, "Oh, thank fuck for this. Somebody's not going to play politician." I was really surprised. I was really surprised. I was surprised there was an audience for authenticity. I was really surprised. When I came on YouTube, I thought I was going to get a load of abuse. I didn't at all. So there's granny for a fake Rolex. I can't not say that one out loud. That is funny. So just reading. Being honest with yourself is all that matters. That is the biggest truth. Being honest with yourself. And that's why I can't have people telling me who I can and can't speak to. Because that would be my own kind of personal hell. If your cards close to your chest, Tom, Dane made the mistake of talking about everything he was going to ask given prep time. Exactly. Thank you, Den. Thank you, Den. And again, this is not, I'm not trying to do a gotcha on him. I just want to make that clear. There's going to be no gotchas from me. That's not how I work. I just don't do that. But yeah, in terms of questions and stuff like that, I want them to be natural and in the moment. Otherwise, what you get is exactly what Dennis just said: pre-planned answers, premeditated answers to questions. So, even after this live stream, because of this live stream, I may actually restructure every fucking thing so that we don't touch some of the things I've talked about, because it's kind of spoiled. You know what I mean? So Den's absolutely right what he's saying. And that's why I've said to you a few times, I want to stop there. Because, again, what's the point in having the conversation when you're just preloading some of what you might do, So, thankfully, on this stream, all I've done is talked around the edges. And I haven't really got into it. And I have not allowed myself to think deeply about it. So I can honestly tell you that, hand on heart, I have not thought deeply about it during this live stream, because I knew that was the danger. But I understand people asking and stuff like that, so it's not people's fault. But I knew the danger, so I've kept myself sort of just on the peripheral of it, and not taking it too seriously. The questions I will have, I will go away later on. I'll be writing down for myself, and yeah. But it's not a gotcha. It's just simple questions, and conversation. So okay, cool. But yes, I absolutely agree with you, Dan. So is there any questions, anything else you want to do? Ask, say, anything else you want me to cover? Because otherwise I'm going to wrap up the stream. How long we've been going? Hour and 13 minutes. Yeah, it's not too bad. Wasn't expecting anyone to come on. It's great. I can't believe you guys have come on. Thank you for coming on. Really do appreciate it, Sorry I haven't got an intro and outro. I've got a new studio. I've got one more to try, but I've got a new studio, which is great when you're using the studio, but the mobile app's a bit awkward to use at the moment. I'm still learning it, but there's a workaround. So I've just got to get there. I've so much to do at the moment. That's the problem, getting back into all this. So much to do, and your real life as well. Trying to fit that in. But thanks for joining me in this live stream tonight. Obviously, if there's anything you really, 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 really want asked, you can contact me at thisiszeronews@gmail.com. Doesn't mean I'll ask it, but I'm probably not going to open up audience questions and stuff on the day, because of the fact that I want to use that. I hope you understand that, because I want to use, one, because I think we know where that will go, but two, because I want to use the time. The longer you're on there, it's quite tiring being on there. So, yeah. So the longer you're on there, the better, really. Talking. So, yeah. So that So I'm gonna sort of keep it for talk time, because I think talk time is important, very important. In the first 20 minutes of any interview, both people can appear one way, but it's when you really get into the heart of it that it matters. So for that reason, that would be why. Am I still crash test and start Chinese scooters? Not at the moment because my last one broke. But when I can afford a new one, I will be. I will be. I had some fun crash testing them. Right, it's good to see you wake up. Good to see you, Den. Good to see you, Craig. Good to see you, Rustic. Good to see all of you. All of you. Thank you so much. I can't believe I came on here to broadcast to no one, and so you'd see it in the morning, and you guys came on. Unbelievable. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. Do me a favor, would you hit the like or dislike, but just show YouTube this channel matters and the traffic matters. I used to think that it didn't make a difference to the algorithm. What I've noticed is when people are interacting and doing stuff like that, it is actually putting me on the recommend list. And so my videos are getting recommended out to other people. And I didn't realize it really made any difference, but I'm starting to realize it really does. So if you give us a like, I would really appreciate it. Other than that, just thank you. Your time is always appreciated, especially this bloody time of the day. So thanks for watching. I'm Toy. Sorry, probably your funniest stream after crashing. Yeah, I know. I've still got that somewhere as well. I'll have to show that one day. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. I'm calling it a day for now. Take care, everybody. Oh, fuck. How do you end the streams on this? I even know how to end the fucking stream on. Oh, there we go. Catch you soon, guys.